Okay, and we're off. Welcome to episode 6 of The Paradigm Shift. Today, I am joined by nobody. It's just me today for this episode. There was no episode last week because there was no episode last week. And what I've decided is instead of just having random episodes where it could be filled with a bunch of nothing, I'd rather just not record for that week because I want to bring as much value as possible. So, here we go. Episode 6. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I was really interrupted. So, today's episode is something that's been on my mind for the last little while. And it's a thing of discipline, right? Discipline is, in my opinion, single-handedly the most important thing that a man can have in his life. Because if a man doesn't have discipline, he doesn't have anything. You lack in all areas. And that is the main brunt of what I want to speak about today, and how somebody can develop that discipline. Okay, so discipline is the act of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So you could have a discipline, which could be, let's just say you're an engineer. Let's just say you're a footballer. Let's say you're a boxer, right? That's a discipline. A discipline. It's a set of rules and regulations that you abide by in order to fit into a certain mold. So if I'm a boxer, I can only use my hands, right? That's a discipline that you're learning. And then there's self-discipline. That's another thing altogether. So there's discipline in terms of it's a craft. Then there's self-discipline, which is needed in order to excel in Z craft. So the discipline I'm talking about is getting up and getting to work every single day. We can be disciplined by going to work because we know bills have to be paid, right? But if those bills weren't to be paid, you would still go to work because discipline, right? It's in your bones to work. And one thing that I've realized is to have that discipline, it really does take a lot of work, and it takes a lot of mental fortitude. In the second episode when I was with my brother, we spoke about how he disciplined himself so much that he ran 5 kilometers every single day for 257 or 58 days or 59 days, right? Every single day without fail, he would run 5 kilometers every single day. That's discipline. Doing the thing that you don't want to do, but you do it like you love it. You do it anyway. You do it like it's the best thing in the world. You go and you grace the field with your presence, right? Not every day. I train five days a week. And they're all hard sessions because I do boxing. Hard training, right? There's days that I don't want to go. There's days I don't want to be there. Probably two days out of the week, I don't want to be there. I'm tired. My body hurts. I don't want to be there. But ultimately, it's discipline that lets me go and get it done, right? And that consistency of having that discipline, it also builds your self-confidence, right? Self-confidence is doing something that you know that you can do because you've proven it, right? So you've proven to yourself that I can continually do this task over and over and over again. Your confidence starts to build because you have that foundation of something that you know you can do. I know I might not be the best at this, but I know I'll show up every single day regardless, right? There's something that I can't remember who said it. I think it was Andrew Tate. He said, there's 2 different types of men. There's the men that go to work when they feel like it. And then there's those men that, regardless of how they feel, they go to work. And not work in terms of, your 9 to 5. I'm talking about work in terms of the gym, for example, because he was a fighter, I'm a fighter. The person that only comes to boxing when they feel like coming to boxing will never be better than the person that goes to boxing even though they don't feel like going to boxing. You'll never surpass a person like that in life, period, because you're waiting till you get that motivation to go, and as a result, somebody else is going regardless, angry, sad, happy, mad, making it happen. Ultimately, you can never compete with that person. And because you can't compete, you'll get left behind. Discipline is the act of doing what you hate over and over and over again. Doing what you hate, but you do it like you love it. You do it like you love it because the results of that discipline ultimately are worth more than any form of anything. Because the feeling you have, the confidence you have, it can't be replicated. You can never have a confidence like that if not proven to yourself. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. You can't just be born with confidence like that. You have to form yourself. And this is the thing about being a man, right? Being a man, you're so lucky. You're so blessed because things can be different, right? For women, a lot of their value can be taken in terms of how they might look, okay? I'm just being realistic. So if you want to get offended by this, you can get offended, I'm just being real. When it comes to that stuff, if there's a woman that is born, let's just say, not the best looking, yeah, excluding surgeries and all that stuff to change how you look, right? I wouldn't recommend that, by the way. But there's not much that you can do in order to increase the level of people that would want you, right? Some people are just born beautiful. Some people are born on the opposite side of that spectrum. And that's the sad reality, harsh reality, right? But as for a man, you have the ability to carve yourself from scratch. You can build yourself from nothing. Hammer and chisel, like it's a marble sculpture. You can bang and bang and bang and build yourself to become who you really want to be. That's a real gift. That's a blessing to be able to do that. But in order to do that, discipline is needed. Discipline in terms of self-control. Discipline in terms of doing something you don't want to do, but you do it anyway. Discipline in terms of sticking to something for the long term and not just when things get difficult, you leave and go to the next thing again. Discipline is staying on the course, staying true to yourself. You get to build yourself from scratch. You get to create the value around yourself. If you're born and you're not good looking as a man, most women actually don't care about how you look, right? So you can add value to your life in other ways. By increasing your earning capacity, by increasing your knowledge, by increasing a bunch of other things in life, right? That will ultimately lead you to be a person that is desired, a person that is wanted, right? And with that discipline, we can honestly achieve absolutely anything. I can't think of something that you cannot achieve if you don't apply discipline to it. I'll speak about a personal story of mine, and I might insert pictures. I'll put it on the Instagram or I'll put it on the YouTube maybe, right? This time last year, I began my fitness journey, and I was over 120 kilos. I think I was about 124 kilos, which is in pounds, that's like 230 let's say 252 pounds or something like that. I was really, really big. And that's not like me to be that heavy. I shouldn't be that heavy. I wasn't carrying it. I could get up that weight, but it wasn't a natural way that I did it. So what happened was, it was during the pandemic and I just got lazy. I just didn't train. I didn't do anything. And as a result of that, I went from like 100 and maybe 110 kilos all the way up to 124 kilos. And at that time, I was working crazy hours to where I didn't have time to train. But, one thing that my brother made me realize is that's just an excuse. There's always time to train. Who's saying that you can't go out and do 30 minutes, run on the spot? It's because you're tired. That's why you won't go. And you're lazy. That's why you won't go. And I had to come to that fact. And I remember one of the days I was sitting on the couch and all he did was he just walked in, stood at the door and just looked at me. I could tell exactly what he was saying just by looking. And then he just walked away. And it burned me inside because I just wanted to go and beat him up, right? But there'd be no grounds for me beating him up. But I knew exactly what his eyes were saying. His eyes were saying, you bum, get up and do something with yourself. And I was just so lazy at the time. I wanted to train, I wanted to get consistent, but I just couldn't find that, groove of consistency. I couldn't find the discipline to stick to something over and over and over again, right? So what I did was I joined the boxing gym and I joined the Gaelic team at the same time. So the days that I'd be training in boxing, the other days I'd be at Gaelic. So I was keeping myself busy like that. And that really worked really well for me. At the beginning, it was nothing but pain. Every single day, I was just hurting. My body is sore every day for like weeks and weeks and weeks on end. Doesn't matter how much I'm stretching, doesn't matter nothing. Every day my body is sore, but I still show up every single day. I show up every day. We do like sprints and stuff like that with the Gaelic team. I'd always be last. I'd be last in the in the line because I was the most unfit. All these people are fit. They've been training, and I'm only coming here. I haven't played Gaelic in years, right? And I'm doing boxing as well, which is really tough as well. Trader Boxing Gym, shout out. And while I was doing all of that, I changed up the way I was eating. I started meal prepping again. And when I was meal prepping, I wasn't really eating much. I was just eating like salads almost every single day. Just salads. Just a bunch of green and then chicken. And that would be all I'd eat. I'd eat that and I'd eat dinner when I get home. And I stayed at that for the course of a while. And this is one thing about weight loss. If you lose it too quickly, you'll get it back just as fast. The weight will just come back to you just as quickly as it took to lose that weight. So what happened was, months goes by, still playing Gaelic, still boxing, all that's happening, right? And I end up, losing a good bit of the weight. I'm losing like 5 kilos every week or every 2 weeks. And I think then I ended up getting COVID. And after I got COVID, I dropped all the way down to maybe 104 kilos. So 124 all the way down to 104. I lost 20 kilos, which is about 45 pounds, right? I lost 45 pounds, 20 kg in about, let's say 9 or 10 months, right? Of consistency. And that's why I'm so big on being consistent. Get in the gym and stay in the gym. Go at least 4 or 5 days a week minimum. Minimum is what you should be spending. Building on the foundation, building that robustness in your body to enable you to get into old age. And once you get to old age, you'll thank your younger self that you put the work in when you were young. And after that, I got down to 104, so that was just pure weight loss. But now it's time to gain weight, to weight gain. And I just started gaining a little bit, not really watching, because for me, it wasn't really about my weight. For me, it was actually about my fitness. I wanted to be fit. I wanted to be agile. I wanted to be able to last rounds in the ring. That's what my personal thing was. Most people might be, I want to be able to run 5K. I want to be able to look good in the mirror. All that stuff. I didn't care about all of that. I wanted to feel fit. I wanted my heart to feel fit. I wanted good heart health. I wanted to feel like I could last rounds in the ring when I'm boxing. I don't want to get tired. That's what my thing was. So, and to do that took really difficult, hard training. Hard training. The best training that you could possibly get is, in my opinion, is boxing. Because you really have to push to a limit, and you really have to battle. You know, you're not fighting the person across the ring. You're fighting the person in the mirror. You're fighting the person that says you can't do this. You're fighting the person that says, let's stop, let's take a break. You're fighting the person that says, I don't want to do this anymore. You're fighting the person that is putting all this doubt in your head. And who's that person? That person is you. You're that person that's instilling all that doubt, all of the failure into your own head. You're bringing that energy into your head, and you need to defeat that part of yourself. You need to break that part of yourself in order to excel past that point. To get past that point is a very difficult thing, and it took me a while. It took me 8, 9, 10 months to be able to silence that voice in my head that was telling me I couldn't do something, that today is enough. Oh, let's just get a little bit more rest. Oh, let's just stop going to training. Oh, I really want to eat this food. I really want to do this. All of those negative things that was trying to halt my progress. I had to silence those voices. And it took me a while to be able to do that. And I'm so happy that I did in the end. This camera's about to die, so I'll let it die, and I'll keep talking here. Okay, camera's gone. So, as a result of that, I ended up understanding that voice is just, it's the devil, and it wants to halt you from excelling. In order to excel, you have to go through hardship. How does anybody expect to excel without experiencing the hardship of it? How does anybody want to be good at something without experiencing the difficulties of something, to realize how bad you are at something and then sticking to it long enough to where you get a lot better? And that was what had to happen while I was training. And now I'm at the stage where I'm self-motivated. Before, I needed my coaches to be able to push me to get to new heights. But now I have the voice in my head that can tell me to go. And that voice still needs to be worked on more. I want to strengthen that voice. I want to make that voice more solid, to where doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing, you'll see me in the gym, you'll see me working, because discipline. And not only discipline in that area of my life, as a result of being disciplined in the physically disciplined, it also keeps my self-control in check, right? Self-control in many areas is what is extremely detrimental for a man to exceed in life. Because if you don't have self-control, your life will run in shambles. It will be in shambles. Because self-control, once again, is the basis of, destruction. Lack of self-control. If you can't control yourself, how do you plan on getting married and you see a beautiful woman? Because there is beautiful women out there, and they're going to want you. If you have no self-control, you're just going to destroy everything you've built in your home. You know? You'll destroy it. And why would you want that? If you don't have self-control, you end up overeating. You end up overeating. You end up doing things that you'll regret. You end up not going to the gym. You end up saying things that you might have not even wanted to say or even meant, for that matter. But having self-control allows you to see things from a different perspective, to see things from a more primal state. Remove the primitive nature from things, you know? Take the primitive nature out of things, and as a result you can see the picture a lot more clearer, and you can really see what it is that you're actually doing. Not that the second you feel something that's what you're going to go for now. And it all takes discipline. You need to hammer yourself. You need to beat yourself into a paste in order to refine yourself. To refine yourself. To build. These are the type of men that we need in our society. And I say that that's the type of men we need. So I need to also be a type of person that can fit that mold. And if I can't, then I too am a failure as a man. That discipline will fall into your children. That discipline will fall into your family. People will see you and get inspired to also discipline themselves in order to excel. There are so many things. But I think I'm going to end it there. We need to discipline ourselves, people. Let's stay consistent. Let's push and be the best version of ourselves. Have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one.